and welcome to Book Buzz, back again from the Peters Township Public Library. I am Miss Shannon.
It's been so long you forgot who you are.
I know,
and
right?
I'm Miss Linda, and we're here during going through some special times, and we're going to bring you the information that you need to know for July in a very different way. Right. So now we have our masks on, obviously. I think everybody's aware that there's a pandemic out there, and things are going to change here at the library. One of which, like every other public place, we are wearing masks. Yes. But because we are socially distanced
with our
our little animal friends, so we can say distance yourself by 2, 4, 6, you know, like, I don't know.
All of your stuffed animals.
All of your stuffed animals in between your friends, then you are socially distant. So we can, with that, we can take off our masks.
Yes. But
we wanted to show you that we are doing it correctly. We are being safe for ourselves and for you.
Correct.
And then we're going to get into full garb. We have our summer reading T-shirts.
You know how we like to twin.
Yeah, we do twin.
And imagine your story, which is our summer theme this year, which will look different, which we're going to talk about. But we're talking all about fairy tales and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
We are now magical.
You know, if I don't even know why I bothered doing my hair today. So. You know, and they do stand right. You can't
No, these are good ones.
Yeah.
I always hate when, like, on Halloween, when you get, like, your witch's costume and your witch's hat keeps flopping.
It just goes like, it's not quite right.
Yeah, and you just stick something in there. But
these
are good.
Totally
these are high-quality wizard hats, Linda.
They are. Thank you.
Bought in mass production.
25 cents a piece. Oh, wow. So here we are with our summer reading. It's going to look very different, and we will go through that as the program goes on. But for now, because we're in the middle of a pandemic, we are going to discuss a little bit of libraries during this coronavirus situation. So I'll start off, I was going to show Miss Shannon this picture that you will see on screen. It's a picture of a statue in front of the library, a statue of the Olympic marathon gold medalist Joan Bonneau Samuelson, wearing a mask outside a library in Cape Elizabeth. So I think that kind of says where we are with our society right now, and of course that includes your local libraries. So let's just talk just briefly about what's been going on since we were last together, because I was thinking about it. We would have filmed in March.
Right.
Probably 2 shows in March, and then like the middle of March, boom.
It was done.
It was all done. 1 minute you're shelving books, the next minute you're like, where'd everybody go?
Yeah.
You know?
It was fast and furious. And
it was.
Out of nowhere. Like, it just really, really quick. No real warning on how that was all going to go down. Right.
So we haven't been together since April, May, and we're shooting now for our July.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened.
Yes.
A lot of changes.
And it seems like it was way more than those several months. I feel like it's been years.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
Because it's so different. So let me just go through a little bit of the pandemic and what libraries have been going through. Even before librarians closed their doors against the pandemic, well, I can speak for ourselves, we started moving fast to keep the work going, and we started shifting, us and other libraries, all of our regular programming online.
Yes.
You haven't been able to come and visit us at the library, which is, I know, extremely sad for you, but extremely sad for us. We do miss everybody.
For sure.
So we are using more. Actually, I did read somewhere, and I know we personally did not do this at our library, but some libraries were using their maker spaces there to make personal protection equipment, making like masks and things, on the 3D printers, which I saw and I thought that is really cool, and it mentions it in here. But the ideas keep coming. Like here, everything has been a slow process. Us, like other places, and I think that we're probably one of the very few, if any, around this area that are actually going to be opening our doors but very limited.
Yes.
Very limited, and we'll talk about that as this goes on. But we did start with pickup and drop-off services. We had the curbside pickups, and then a bin where you put your bags, and we're still going to have that.
Yes.
Put your bags or books in a bag, and then put it into the bins that are out there. And we're going to talk about all of that. Let's see. This was interesting. This is so clever. Arlington, Virginia, the public library had published several online issues of a magazine that they did called Quarantine.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that cute? Quarantine, a community-sourced collection, artwork, poetry, photos, and stories about life during the pandemic. Oh, wow.
Cute.
Talk about documenting history. This caught my eye because Blaine Dessy, who's the new director of the Erie, Pennsylvania Library, which I've been, beautiful library, great media center, came across an annual report. This is where I learned about the 1918 documenting the library and what they did during the influenza pandemic. So, you know, this isn't totally new to have a pandemic. We just haven't seen one in our lifetimes. And so he took all of this information and digitally archived it for future reference. And he writes, here we go again. You know, so even though that huge one was so long ago, but here we are, and hoping that should this ever happen again, hopefully not during our lifetime, you know, or our kids or grandkids. Can you skip a few generations, please? We'll be more prepared for it. This was sweet. One library, Adams County, Colorado, they manned a telephone. They used a regular telephone, had it in the library, and used it just for callers to call and say hi, especially the elderly. Like they couldn't get out and they couldn't do anything, and they just wanted to say hi or talk to like a person, and that was their way of saying, the library's way of saying, we're here for you.
Aww,
Isn't
like
that
a
sweet?
hotline.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, when you're living alone or you're elderly and you don't have access to people, and even though you have access, we were all kind of quarantined. We were, you know, told to stay at home. Yeah. You don't see anybody, and if you don't have anybody in your family, as we know some people that live alone, that's tough. Yep. That's really tough.
For sure.
So,
especially if you don't have that technology to connect in a different form, too, you know.
Exactly. That's the point, too. Thanks for bringing that up. They don't have the technology. So it's not like, you know, we can get on and interact with each other, you know, you're messaging and email and texting. They don't do that. Right. So they can pick up an old-fashioned phone and say, hey, hi.
Library.
Hey, Miss Shannon, what you up to? What you up to?
We definitely have patrons here that would have benefited from that, I feel.
Now, we're going to be talking about what we're doing for our summer reading, and it has taken all libraries. It's been an interesting challenge. Yes. Which we are learning from. We're learning while we go through it, but we're learning from, which I think is going to be wonderful for the future for us. I think we're just opening up all kinds of doors. And, you know, they have found that more libraries will be, as it opens up, doing more things outside. Yeah. And you and I,
we're going to be outside.
We're probably not talking, we'll be talking about it for August.
Yep. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned for a surprise from
You never know what we might do.
You don't know what we're going to do, and I tell you, it's always going to be good. Social media, use of the websites, of course, in all the libraries has skyrocketed. People are going online to learn new things, read poetry, even cooking classes. And then you get to a point where librarians are wondering what kind of expectations the users will have once they are up and running again.
I have that feeling too. I am interested to see how that all plays out.
How is it going to be? Once we're up and going totally, so we'll have someday, you know, have it all back to normal, you know.
Right.
But I think we're going to have more virtual offerings. I think it's going to change in that way. So Excuse me. Now, this article, I should have said coughing is not good in a pandemic. People get scared. This was done in the Atlantic. I know, everybody's going, wah! I'm healthy, thank you. I get a dry throat from talking too much.
Did you really just say you talk too much?
Yeah, I know. In Pennsylvania, shut up. The Pennsylvania Department of Education is working on a framework to help local libraries plan their reopenings. And I have to give, like, our administration a lot of kudos for really following it and really going, I feel like above and beyond.
Yeah.
Above and beyond requirements. You know, we'll talk about what it's going to look like with the plexiglass and the masks and everything else, and things that are going to have to be blocked off for usage right now. But the one thing that I did, this will be the last piece, the Institute of Museum and Library Services just came out with this on June 22nd, because they have to study everything, because they want museums like the Louvre talking about opening. They were talking about, you know, the money that they had lost and people coming in to see the Mona Lisa. I was seeing that on the news. They tested on different surfaces. They said the virus was undetectable after 1 day on covers of hardback, softback books, and plastic DVD cases after 1 day. Virus was also undetectable after 3 days on paper, inside the book, on the pages, and the Mylar book jackets. And that was 3 days. And we are quarantining our stuff for 3 days.
Yes.
So, and that's everything. So even the plastic, everything, we are quarantining. So we are like ahead of the curve on that.
Right.
Taking it all very seriously. That is your coronavirus pandemic as far as our library goes. Update.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, so moving on, as Miss Linda said,
Yep.
everything is looking very different. And the first thing that's going to be very different this year is our summer reading program, which is the one thing that, you know, all of our youth services staff looks forward to the most every year. Like, you know, it's almost like well, I don't know if the retail workers really look forward to the holiday season, however, but that's what it's like for us as far as the busyness goes. But we thrive on that, and we really enjoy having the library full of all these kids. And we spend a good bit of our year kind of thinking ahead of what we're going to do for the summer. So the summer reading program is a huge component of our library, and unfortunately, because of the current situation, all of that has to change.
Can I just interject one thing with that?
Yes.
So much so, you're right, of like how we look forward to it, because it's like Christmas to retailers,
right.
Summer reading is to us, that we actually plan, we plan pretty much year round. We start thinking about it, and all of our like special supplies and special cool prizes and hats
outfits
and all this are ordered before even Christmas, like in December.
Yeah, November, December, we place our order
exactly.
for all that.
Mm-hmm. That's how much we are into it, and we look forward to it.
Yeah, so it is. It's a year-long process and really starts going ahead about 6 months in advance. But when all this started happening, we realized very quickly that our normal offerings were not going to be able to happen this summer. So with the generous contributions from our Peters Township Library Foundation, we have purchased Reader Zone, which is an app-based program where you can download the app, or you can use their website and log the time or the amount of books that you spend reading this summer. So we have created a program for all ages. We have a birth through preschool bracket, we have a kindergarten, second grade bracket, third through sixth grade, 7th through 12th, and also adults. I
think that's exciting.
Yes, for sure.
I even registered.
Well, I hope so.
Exactly.
And so, you know, one of the most things that the public looks forward to the most with our library is, of course, the Fun Summer Reading Prizes, which, as Linda said, we purchase our stuff, and think about this so far in advance. We already had all of our prizes and things, for the most part, planned out, purchased, or donated, whatever. So we're still going through with all of that. So what we're going to do is you can download the app. You will use the code GR53A, which we'll have up on your screen somehow so you can see that. And you'll just download Reader Zone, and it will ask you for a code. You'll type that code in, GR53A, and it's going to bring up the it'll say PTPL Summer Reading Program. Click or tap on that, and then it's going to show you the different brackets or programs we have according to the age group. The best part is if you are a family and you have multiple children and yourself as an adult as a reader, you can have one account and you can track everybody's reading on that account. So like I download the app under my email address, and now I have my son, myself, and my husband all on there, and we can just add our things. For the little ones, our birth through our preschoolers, it's by the amount of books that you read, because you read several books per evening, we would hope at bedtime. So the goal is to try to read at least 3 books a day with that age group. If something happens and you don't quite get that book, if bedtime got pushed back too late and you don't get as many books read at bedtime or throughout the day, whatever, it's throughout the entire summer. So it looks like a big goal because it's like 200 some books for the summer. But when you break it down to that 3 books a day, it's really reasonable.
Right.
For our other kids, it's by the minutes that they spend reading. And one of my favorite components of the app is there's actually a timer on it, because I know in the past when we've done the minutes and things with our summer reading program, parents are like, oh yeah, I had to go get them a timer, or I'm sitting there looking at the clock to log it. So there's a timer, they can just hand them the phone, hand them the device, set the timer, and let them go and read. And then when they're done, it'll say, oh look, I've read for 45 minutes, and just hit stop on the timer, and it's logged for you. So that's a really cool component, I think. And then for the adult program, it's by the number of books that you're reading. So we do not do it by the number of books for our school-age kids, our K through 12, because, some of our kids are going to read Harry Potter this summer, and they might only read just Harry Potter because it's so long, and that's fabulous. But other kids might be reading 75 Magic Tree House books this summer, but they're still spending the same amount of time reading. They're still spending X amount of hours reading. So you can keep track of your books, which is nice. You do have a reading log on there, which as a parent I really like, because when you're using the library, you get all these books, you return them. A month later, your kid's like, I just want that dinosaur book again. And you're like, we've read 75 dinosaur books. What dinosaur book are you talking about?
Right.
And so it will be on their log. So that's pretty cool. So that's how that's going to work. And then now we also have going on that we have our new book bundles. Do you want to explain how that's kind of working?
Yeah, I think it's been fun. And I also, you go online, go into our website, and there is a spot under
Kids, Teens, and
Tweens where you can register for book bundles. You can register for Kindergarten Express, and for that book.
PTPL Find a Book.
Thank you. It was like, I wanted to say it correctly. PTPL Find a Book. 3 resources for you to fill out information, and we'll pull the stuff for you, which really helps streamline, because when you're coming in here, there's not going to be a lot, might as well say it, for you to stay and do, because we're watching, as they call it, the footprints, and keeping, things sanitary, and, people spaced and everything. Right. So you'll order these, and then come when you're notified and pick them up. And it'll ask you like what your child is interested in, what have you read, what is their age level, et cetera, et cetera. And we can try to zoom in and pull some things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of pulling. And then a step farther, on our counters, you'll see book bundles already put together with themes. So you might go by and see a ballerina theme, or a dinosaur theme, or space theme, or whatever, and just go, all done. My child likes things about space, and pick it.
Yep, there you go. And you have 10 books.
Kind of like those spontaneous little, like going to a grocery store and looking over and grabbing that Milky Way. So, I've never done that. I know nothing about that.
Yeah, and then it makes it so it's quicker,
Absolutely, that's what we're saying. I mean, no offense, we really miss everybody, but we want it to be safe and in and out.
Right, and I think we might as well jump ahead and talk about what the changes are.
Okay, let's do that.
So, like Linda said, so we have, because of everything going on, we don't really have space or things for you to kind of linger too long in the library. Right. We don't want you to come, of course, but because of safety reasons, we had to remove all of our toys for the time being. We're not circulating anything plush, so our puppets and things are not out or circulating at all. We actually, when we first opened in the beginning of July, we won't have the play area opened at all.
That's a good warning, parents.
Yes.
If you bring your children and they're all excited to be, and we're back in the children's area now, you know, filming this, well, we'll say it, the house isn't here any longer for the, you know, the light board, there are no Legos. There isn't anything that can be touched and lingered over at this point in time.
Right.
So you might want to warn them if you are going to bring them.
Yeah, right. It's unfortunately not a play space at this time.
No.
And we do miss that, and we hope we can bring it back safely at some point. But right now, that's how we're going to reopen. We're kind of doing things in phases, just as the rest of the world is. Our teen space is currently going to be closed for a while because of just the capacity situation, and again, the touch points. But if you need materials from any of those closed areas, we will have staff readily available to pull them. So we don't want to say, oh, you can't come out and check 10 YA books, because you totally can. You can't come in and you can't grab 15 board books, because you totally can, but we just have to go and pull those items for you.
And also,
yes, we do ask that everybody comes to the library wearing their masks.
Wear a mask.
All of our staff, when we're open, you will see us wearing our masks all the time, no matter where we are.
Regardless of your feelings about it, you know, we're keeping you healthy, and, you know, we're really, we're doing our best to make sure that we offer the most sanitary conditions and, you know, healthy, let's say healthy conditions.
Right. And for our adults, we do have some changes for you as well. We have limited access on our computers. We're going to ask that you make an appointment to use a computer. We won't have as many computers available. We won't be using any computers for the time being in the children's department. And again, it all goes back to those touch points and keeping people spread out.
Right.
And with that going along, we're not going to have any space for tutoring at the time being, things like that. So anything where you would think where you would have somebody handling a lot of stuff or being close together, we've had to take all that into consideration. You'll see when you walk in, we have like the sneeze guards up around our desks. We have spots on the floor, just like you see in the grocery stores, to kind of remind you, like, oh, maybe you need to be back a little bit further, or keeping your distance from somebody else. Our capacity is also limited, so we're only allowed a certain amount of people even in the youth services department at one time. And again, it's all really for your own safety and for the world's safety as we try to overcome this complete situation. So
it was a lot of work by a lot of people for your benefit.
Yeah.
So,
so
I hope you all
we
understand.
do look forward to seeing you again. When I've had people that have been in to pick up things on hold, it's hard to even recognize people because we don't have our masks on.
You're trying to guess them by the eyes.
I know. I got to work on my eyebrow expressions, I think.
Yeah.
But
wait a minute. Yeah. You got to move them up and down. I'm going to go for that unibrow.
There you go. Look like Bert and Ernie.
That's all you'll see.
Yeah, so it's just a different world right now, but and it's nothing that you aren't going to be unfamiliar with from going into any other store that has been open during this time, or any other place that's open. Everything's very different. So that is how and we also are going to have some reduced hours. We're going to only be here from 10 to 6 Monday through Thursday, which we'll see this on the screen, 10 to 4 Fridays, 9 to 1 Saturdays, not open on Sundays. And that will be our summer hours going forward, at least the rest of this summer.
Right.
And then we'll see what the fall brings as far as where we are with all of that. So
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different, but guess what? We're still a library and we're still here for you.
Yes.
So
yes. So do you want to just talk about anything real quick here?
Yeah, I mean, we can mention, do you want to just mention some of the online programs that they can look for?
Sure.
Real quick, we can go through STEM Saturdays.
Yes.
And you know what? We'll send all the dates. All the dates will be on the screen. Okay, STEM Saturdays in July. Do you want to say the next one?
Yep, and then we have our Lego challenge. So you'll get to actually come up to the library and get a whole bag of Legos.
Yay.
And then, and this is what they'll look like on your carpet too. So they're fun to step on.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God, that hurt. Yeah, been there.
Linda's been there. Any mother has been
there.
there.
Any mother. Oh, my God. You just... And you can thank us later.
Yes.
Okay.
So so you can register on our website to come and pick up a Lego kit. You'll get a whole bag of Legos. And then if you create, since our theme is fairy tales, if you create either a fairy tale scene or character using your Legos, and you can use your own Legos too, but you know, these are free. These are for you to keep. So it's nice, fun, free Legos. And post them. You can add comments on our social media page or email them to us by the end of July, the 24th. You'll get some prizes going out there for you. So we'll contact you for that.
Cool. We've had other things going on. I would suggest at this point, like, watch our website, get on our email. We're great at sending the email newsletter. We're going to be doing Take and Make Mondays, where you come in on Monday, and we'll have, you know, first come, first serve, a kit for you to take home and just make it at home. And then we're going to have
some virtual pause for reading is one of our programs we have coming up in the end of
We'll do
July,
anything
mid-July.
virtual.
Yes, yeah. So please follow us at
If we can, we
PTPL
will.
Services on social media as well. And we'll be having virtual programs popping up there. We had a lot of them going on when we were closed, and that's now that we're back open, we're transitioning into a different way of how we're going to be doing things. But we'll have virtual pause to reading you'll see on our YouTube page on July 11th, as well as on our Facebook page. And just like our physical pause for reading, which is one of my favorite things, when you sit and you get to read to a dog, well, you get to read to a dog in the virtual realm.
Yeah.
So it's,
and you know what? And the cool thing, you're going to see dogs from different staff.
All of our staff members' dogs
have
are going
sent in like pictures or videos.
It's going to be super cute.
You know what would be fun? If they, I don't know, if you put the name, like the pet's name on it or something, wouldn't it be fun if they could like try
Guess
to
who they
figure
belong
out
to?
what staff member?
Yes, whose dog is
dog?
whose.
I know.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That's
Okay.
another program.
Okay. You know what? We never know when we're going to come up with it. Online. I mean, even on the air. You know, it happens. And
Whose
that's
dog
like
is
that.
whose. So yeah, you'll get
We'll
to
do
see
something fun like
all
that.
of our different animals, and you have a chance to read to them.
Yeah, because we can put their pictures on and the staff, you know, and
Right.
then kind of like we did for the
Pizzas.
the pizza. Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, we'll get on that. There we go. So there's that. So check that out on July 11th, as that's when that's going to be rolling out. So
Right.
some fun stuff going on. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you soon in some kind of capacity.
Exactly. We had a lot to go over.
We
so
did.
I know it's a lot of information. So you might want to watch this again and again and again. I mean,
And
watch it
like
as many
it
times
and
as you
share
need.
it and
absolutely make sure your friends are getting it, and
Yep,
your
email it
friends'
to your
friends. Yeah, archive it for future reference. Right?
yes,
All right. Until next time, we are back.
we are. Have a good one,
Book Buzz.
everybody.
All right. Ciao.